Well, a grassroots group suffered a setback today in its effort to put an equal rights amendment on the ballot here in Ohio.
Yeah, the Ohio Ballot Board voted 3-2 along party lines to split the group's proposed amendment into two separate measures. 10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash is here to explain why and what are the next steps for this group.
Well, Colin, Yolanda, the group Ohio Equal Rights proposed an amendment to prohibit discrimination based on race, religion, sexual orientation, disabilities, and about a dozen other categories. Now, they would apply to housing, education, healthcare, and employment. Supporters, though, also want to repeal Ohio's constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. The ballot board ruled those are two separate things. So now the group has to adjust.
The attorney for Ohio Equal Rights laid out their succinct argument.
We would argue marriage and all the other employment, all those things are under the umbrella of the general purpose of equal rights.
Secretary of State and Ballot Board Chair Frank LaRose disagreed. He said Ohioans may support same-sex marriage, but not adding the list of protected individuals to the Constitution, or vice versa.
In order to provide voters that choice, it seems apparent to me that it would be good to give them those two as two separate amendments.
What brought us to this point is seeing the number of already existing laws that infringe on people's rights here in Ohio.
The spokesperson for Ohio Equal Rights says the board's ruling now makes their effort different.
But this was going to be difficult no matter what because of the number of signatures required in Ohio and the size of Ohio.
Now, will you keep pushing to gather signatures for both of these amendments now, or will you focus on one or the other?
That is a conversation for within our leadership team and with our legal counsel as to what our next steps are.
Supporters of same-sex marriage feel a sense of urgency. The push for the Ohio constitutional amendment comes at a time when conservative justices have called for the U.S. Supreme Court to review the Obergefell v. Hodges case legalizing same-sex marriage. In a statement, Stonewall Columbus Executive Director Denzel Porteous said, in Ohio, same-sex marriage would currently be illegal under our state constitution if not for the Supreme Court ruling. That means if Obergefell were overturned, we would see those rights vanish overnight.
That decision, if it changes, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are surprised that, oh, crap, Cousin Joe and his husband aren't married anymore. What does this mean?
Supporters of the Equal Rights Amendment now basically have two options. Their attorney says they can challenge the ballot board's decision at the Ohio Supreme Court or accept the decision of the ballot board and try to collect signatures for two separate ballot measures. So either way, guys, it looks like they are looking for this to be on the ballot possibly next year and maybe during the gubernatorial election in November of 2026 because of the high voter turnout.